and welcome to SoulTV. And this morning we are interviewing Julie, who is an intuitive purpose and prosperity empowerment consultant. Bit of a mouthful. And we're just going to talk today about spiritual stuff. So lovely to meet you again, Julie.
And you, thank you, Stephen.
Nice. Right, so first of all, for people that don't know you,
Sure.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your experience, your background?
Yeah.
Just if you just tell me that for now.
Sure. My background has always been in empowerment, predominantly women's empowerment in community-based statutory services. That's where my passion is, and that is where my heart always lies within
That's
people.
your passion,
Yeah, definitely. But unfortunately, I was unable to work within systems and procedures that was very office-based.
Office-based corporate, so
Yeah,
very corporate.
absolutely. And therefore I felt very stagnant and stifled in achieving what I'm here to achieve.
Understand that.
And workplace pressure and stress led my health to kind of deteriorate. But that opened up new opportunities. So
in a way it was a good thing.
It was, yes.
Okay, good.
So for the past 10 years I've been full-time self-employed, working in a similar way, but bringing people's potential out in a very spiritual way. So really connecting with their inner being and the truth.
The truth. Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
that's me.
Lovely, that's good. So could you tell me about your life before? So you mentioned you were in quite a corporate backing. Could you tell me about your life before you found your spiritual path? What was your life like before? And basically what was the transformation? So what was the build up to your transformation?
Sure. Leading on from what I've just said, really, and I think the starting point for me is my spiritual path is everything.
Yes.
It's what's made my health, it's what's made my wealth, it's what's brought understanding, direction and clarity.
Do you think that's your foundation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's everybody's foundation,
Yes,
and we're so separate from that, you know.
Yeah. It's
what allows us to flourish, it's what allows us our potential to come right out. So that has been such a gift for me. So before the opening, I had a profound spiritual awakening in the year 2000, which again came from health issues, what had actually happened. And I think I see a lot of people do this, is that we don't feel our experiences, and so therefore we're unable to heal. And I'd had a difficult marriage, I was in a stressful job, it wasn't fulfilling me, there was a lot of in-house internal politics, there was a lot of competition and conflict, and those kind of energies, I didn't realise it at the time, was just bringing me down. But what happened, it enabled me to connect with my inner feelings, which was difficult. Very difficult, and you think you're going under even more, but actually you're clearing out to
cleansing.
You're cleansing to come up in a very sustainable way. So I had a couple of what I thought were breakdowns, but they weren't. They were breakthroughs.
That's deep. Yeah. Wow.
It is very deep. And those breakthroughs led me into an instant spiritual path. So what happened, I decided to go down a natural route. So instead of signing off work, doctors, antidepressant,
hiding away from it.
I took an alternative route of natural healing, natural therapy, and what that did within the space of the first session was spiritually oatmeal.
Wow.
So it ignited all my senses. I journeyed into other places. I felt the light, if you like. I felt the love of spirit. It completely blew my mind in a way that I couldn't integrate and accept at the time. I actually thought I was going deeper into mental illness, to be honest, because it was so profound and so fast. I started to see things, hear things. The whole psyche opened up. All of my six senses and beyond it opened up within the space of 50 minutes.
Wow, amazing.
The life change was so quick. And the journey since has been amazing as well.
Amazing. have you always been, even from a young age, have you been interested in this, or is it just, or is it sort of disappeared? Was there any early memories of being into this sort of thing, or is...
Yeah, my early memories, there was something from very young, because always felt that I didn't fit.
Yes.
So I always had the sixth sense that actually, you know what, being put in a box isn't right. Being told that we have to do something by a certain age, being tested, I just felt that that wasn't the truth. So
Yes.
there was always a very active sixth sense, but I never identified it.
Yes, like in the background. And
Yeah, and I was always wanting to explore the truth of me, a bit out of the box, and never had the desire to want to fit in or kind of accept some of the things that were being taught.
You feel a bit separate to...
Very separated, and that as I aged, it grew, because the way people are with each other, and particularly as you go into relationships, as you go into adolescence, and then you go into the workplace, it's like, well, something's not quite right here.
Definitely.
You know,
especially in a corporate.
Yeah, and
way.
I couldn't identify it, but I had the inner feeling. So I think that spirit was already, and always has been, telling me, do you know what, we've lost our way.
Yes,
definitely.
And I think it's just a build up, and you just keep ignoring it until
You
it came
do,
to a point where you had to.
Yes.
You know, although it felt really bad.
Yeah.
You listened to yourself and transformed.
Yes, and I had to listen, because it came through a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't listening, it was like the universe was saying, well, you know what, we'll just show it you again, and just show it you again.
Big time. I think that's what's happened.
Big time.
You know, you keep going through.
Yeah.
It keeps warning you and trying to give you a push, and then
It does.
really gives you
Yes.
that shove
absolutely.
and pain sometimes. But
Yeah, pain.
It's
and I think it's our perception of pain. You know,
Yeah.
I think we of course we want happiness and love and joy, and we tend not to feel the things that we think that aren't good for us.
yes.
But I think, you know, when we feel those things that are sometimes emotionally difficult to feel and to own, there is so much miracles that comes out of that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So it was, like I say, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Bad thing to have to go through, painful, but actually,
Yeah.
it's purifying and,
Sure.
and
It is,
transformative, really,
yeah.
which is amazing. Just something I noticed on your Facebook. It says you travelled to reservations and trained with native medicine people.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely fascinating. Could you describe that and explain what you learned from that and what insights
Sure.
you've got from that?
Yes, very early on, in the early days of my spiritual development and spiritual awakening, really, I got led to certain people that introduced me to other people, and I think that's the beauty of the destiny and
Don't you find that you meet
synchronicity.
people at the same right
Yes,
time? It's so,
right
so
time,
strange when
right
you look back at your
door.
life. You think,
Yeah.
you know, that's amazing. I met that
Yes.
person at that
Yeah,
time. When you're thinking in that
absolutely.
sort of way.
It is, yes. So, but prior to that, I'd started to have a pull to learn different traditions.
So that was like an inner pull.
It was
You
an
feel
inner
that?
pull.
Okay.
So I started to learn, you know, the Celtic traditions of these isles and our ancient ceremonies that we've lost, and understanding the summer solstice, the winter solstice.
Okay.
And then I met my spiritual teacher, and she'd been out to the States. She'd also, you know, worked with a lot of indigenous people. And she was saying, if you understand their ways, that they still have,
Yeah.
in terms of, you know, understanding humanity, you will learn a lot. And I've been blessed to travel, both in the States, into New Mexico, India and South Africa, that's allowed me to study and learn something that feels so innate inside of me. It's like, this is how we need to be. This
We need
is
to
how
get
we
back to that, don't we?
absolutely
Yeah.
where our success is interlinked with another, where you know, we're not the one that's got the most materials is the most successful, because it doesn't give you the health. It might
No, it
give
never
you
will.
a
It never will.
short-term
No.
buzz,
Yes.
but when we come into community with each other, that's where the wealth is.
Yeah.
You know, when we support each other's success, when we connect with the Creator and we feel And I think what was making me ill, it's like my soul was dying.
Yeah.
My spirit was being diminished in this mainstream world that just did not feed me. It did not feed me at all.
I think in some ways that's a good thing,
Yeah.
because you realise what you don't want,
Yes.
and it
Yeah.
pushes you quicker. doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
what was the insight you got from the medicine people? What was the insight? What was the truth that you got from that? Was there...
The truth of that was I learned to connect with our planet, our beautiful
So,
Mother Earth.
yes.
I allowed her to feed me through my intuition, through advancing my spirit, through the seasons, through the elements, and understanding the rhythm and flow, through honouring all things.
So connecting with yourself as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good. And if there was one thing that you could give to other people about
Mm-hmm.
what you've learned, what would you say to that, other than what you've already... So what they do different to us, or, you know, what other insight could you give?
Okay, to other
Say
people.
just one thing to
Sure.
help in their daily lives.
Sure. I think it's silence and stillness.
Yeah.
So much in our busy life, we don't listen to our inner being. We don't go into nature. You know, we go into town or into the shopping centre,
Yes.
and I think, you know, sustainable happiness comes from being a seeker of yourself.
Yeah. So look within.
Yeah. Look within. Yeah.
Exactly. So what are you working with at the moment, Julie? What I know you've worked on lots of
Sure.
projects before. What are you currently working on at the moment?
My area of expertise is, if you like, is helping entrepreneurs to understand the bigger picture, bigger meaning to what they're here to do, and the
Okay.
blueprint and the legacy that they are destined to leave. So connecting them with the spirit within, the infinite source of wisdom, and the spiritual teachings that allows them to birth the blueprint. So that's my mission, really.
Okay.
Hence the fact that I've had to move area, go really into the hills and
Right.
connecting. But that's what's really changed me. That's where the transformation is.
Right. And if people wanted to find out more about that,
Sure.
what the thing you do, what's your
Yeah.
website, and
Okay.
where can they find that information?
Yeah, they can connect with me. My website is juliannehart.com.
And we'll leave the links as well, by the way.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. So there's Vital Wisdom on YouTube. You'll find me on Facebook. My website is www.juliannehart.com.
Right, that's lovely. So just one last question.
Sure.
Why do you think we're here? That's the question I think, you know, we don't look at enough, but why do you think we're here? What do you think, or personally, why do you think we're here?
I would say to discover ourselves, growth. Life is growth for me. Life is freedom and pleasure, and discovering what that is, really understanding what that is in its rawest form, because it's internal. And I think when we understand that within ourselves, that's when we can come together with each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's pleasure and freedom and everything else. It's not in an identity or a label. You know,
Which
and
is
I think
what the world is at the minute.
it is, unfortunately.
I think things are changing. But
And that's not to say that we can't, you know, enjoy our abundance, because we can, but when you allow that feeling to come in on an inner level and then you experience it on an outer level, that's the total fulfillment, you know.
I think that's really good, really deep.
Yeah,
Very
thank
profound,
you.
actually. Thank you. Right, thank you very much.
You're
It's been
very
lovely
welcome.
meeting you.
Thank you for asking me.
Of our interview, which is my first interview, scared, red-faced. But so I'll put the links on the bottom, and peace and love. Bye.